welcome back to the Achilles channel, everyone. This video pains me to do because I've actually gone around and promoted Paul Ryan for president, you know. But after further investigation, I'm going to retract that, and I'd like to ask the question, who is Paul Ryan really? Paul Ryan's from Wisconsin. He says it's the birthplace of progressivism. I was listening to Beck's radio show a couple months ago, and he was on there talking about progressivism, and he spoke of it as if he knew it. He knows as much as I do about it. So, but Paul Ryan voted for TARP. Okay? Just like all the other Democrats voted for TARP. You understand? Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid. I mean, they're fighting in their campaign. Do you want more bank bailouts and bailouts of Wall Street? Well, these people voted for it. How can you fight against a candidate and say they're for bank bailouts when you actually voted for it? And that's what they're doing. But Paul Ryan voted for TARP. Okay, the bailouts of the banks. What you have to understand here is this was a progressive plan to fundamentally transform this country through crisis, and the ends justify the means, and that what that means is that the people losing their homes, their jobs, their livelihoods, and sometimes their very lives, and everything that they've worked hard for, they lost it as the means to the ends, which is the collapse of the economy, or at least the ability to go in and fundamentally transform this country. And it's a diabolical scheme cooked up by the progressives. And the banks went along with it for short-term gains and a promise of a bailout in the end. And they got it. And Paul Ryan voted for that. His vote helped this diabolical scheme to fleece the American people succeed. That's what his vote did. Am I wrong? They're fleecing the American people. People are losing their homes left and right. Look at this economy. Look what this collapse did. It brought Barack Obama into power. And now he's transforming this country. He's got one term to do it. And he's doing it. This is going to be a double-dip recession. We're going to go bankrupt, and the IMF is going to come in and bail us out. And there goes U.S. sovereignty. Paul Ryan voted for TARP. Voted for it to bail out the banks as a quid pro quo to them going along with the Community Reinvestment Act, which caused the housing crisis and the financial collapse. Paul Ryan voted for that. If Paul Ryan was a patriot like he wants everybody to believe he is and everybody thinks he is, he would have stood up and exposed the corruption from his position in, where is he? I can't even remember what he is right now. I'm so frustrated with him. He's in the, he deals with the economy. Okay? He could have stood there with authority and said, this is what's happening. He could have done that. He didn't. He chose not to. He chose to vote with this. To become part of the political class. You understand? To be accepted in the political class. Now he is one of them. He voted for the GM bailouts. The GM bailouts, the reason why they bailed them out is because they said that, we can't let this car company go into bankruptcy. It's not like an airline. People will have to buy a vehicle, and they're not going to buy a vehicle from a car company that's in bankruptcy. So they bailed them out. And then what happened? The car company went into into bankruptcy anyway, just like everybody said it would. He voted for that. What happened there? The shareholders got screwed, and half the company went to the unions. He voted for that. Why? He voted for the AIG tax on bonuses, 100% tax on bonuses. If AIG did something wrong, and I believe they did, why didn't somebody get fired or go to jail? That's a way of nullifying these contracts for bonuses. Fire them. They broke the law. Throw them in jail. No, none of that happened. Instead, he voted to tax their bonuses 100% and leave the perpetrators of that scheme, which is the default swap, credit default swap scheme, let them stay. Nobody's in jail. Bernie Madoff's in jail, so apparently Bernie Madoff was the reason for the collapse. He's the only one that went to jail from the Ponzi scheme. But these people are all funding the biggest Ponzi scheme, which is unions in our federal government. Who is Paul Ryan really? God bless America.